And we are live. It's good to see all of you guys that are out there. I just realized I didn't switch my glasses. Let me grab them real quick. Sorry. Hey, Mary, it's good to see you. I realized when I got on that I didn't have on the glasses that allow me to read the screen. So let me switch over. There. So now hopefully you guys can hear me and then I can see you. So, hey, Everyday Living with Karen Jeter. It's good to see you guys. I guess I better say hello to everyone. And hello, Diva Designing on a Dime. It's good to see you too. I was just on a live stream with Bella at Bella D Design. She just decided to do a coffee chat. And so she was on. And then I'm like, oh my goodness, I got to jump off of there. My own live stream is starting at 7. But let me go ahead and then make my opening. So if you're looking to find information about how to grow your YouTube channel one subscriber at a time, you want to learn how to get more subscribers and views, then this is the episode for you because today we are talking about thumbnails. So we're going to be looking at thumbnails and how to get the click with thumbnails. So hopefully, we'll have a good session today. And I got my laptop up today too. I set it up because I wanted to be able to pull up one of the videos that I wanted us to talk about. And there were a couple, well, I wanted to be able to pull up both of them today. So I did get my laptop up. So I got it like right here. You can't see it, but I can. And then I also copied a couple of pictures and put them on my phone. I don't know. I was really excited to talk about today's session. And just so you guys know, I am snuffly today. I don't know where this came from. You guys know when I was on last night, I did not have this. So who's on with us today? We've got Mary from Mary's Nest. We've got Diva at Diva Designing on a Dime. Hey, Ro, I missed you yesterday. I'm back. So we've got Ro from It's a Chore Thing. And I think I saw Karen from Karen Jeter on there as well. And like I said, I am snuffly. So sorry, I've got a box of tissue right here. I've got a cup of tea. Well, not tea actually. It's like lemon and apple cider right here. So that my voice doesn't get too crackly, dry, that kind of thing. So for tonight's session, you guys were asked to look at 2 videos. One of them was a vidIQ video. And hey, Robin, All Things Lux by Robin, it's good to see you too. And let me also say, if you are joining us on the replay, thank you so much for jumping on. I think you will get a lot of value out of today's session. I know I got value just by looking at the videos. So please stay to the end and you will certainly get lots of value. And then for those of you that are with us live, how you doing? As you can see, I'm all snuffly. And I tell you what, I have been taking some drugs. I've got some Next Fed, and it's helping to dry me up. If you guys had talked to me an hour earlier, I could barely talk. My nose was so thick, my tongue was thick. I was a hot mess, but I'm better now. And guess what I had for dinner? Cream of wheat. You talking about the ultimate in comfort food. I made myself 2 huge bowls of cream of wheat, and that was what I had for dinner. I almost went to KFC and got some Kentucky Fried Chicken wings, mashed potatoes with gravy, and green beans. That's another one of my comfort food dinners, but I didn't. I thought cream of wheat sounds good, and I really just didn't want to go out of the house. So it was really cutting too close to the time for me to get on and do the show. So here I am. Oh, you had cream of wheat this morning for breakfast, Karen. You know what? When my little granddaughters come, they always want me to make cream of wheat. I tell them it's porridge. So when they were little, I would make them porridge. And then Carla from It's a Chick thing is on with us. So, hey, Carla, too. But yes, I would tell them it was porridge. And so when they come, it's like, Grandma, can you make porridge? And I would make it. And my son's like, Mom, you've got entirely too much sugar in that. But yes, I will make porridge, which is cream of wheat, and I put brown sugar and butter in it when I make it. And then it's so thin you can just pour it in the dish. And then some people still like to add a little bit of milk to it. That just makes it all the more creamier. But that's what I had for dinner. So anyway, that is not the topic of our conversation tonight. But I always enjoy talking to you guys. Now, Mary, you missed the show yesterday, and I'm hoping that you guys agree with me, but I thought we had a great show yesterday. Once I got done talking about what the different challenges were that were coming up, I just really enjoyed the vibe that we had going. We talked a lot about some of the trending topics, and then I shared a channel review that I did on Danielle's Decor, which I thought would be helpful to the ladies that were on just because of the things that I observed when I was looking at her channel. And some of it had to do with thumbnails. So it was really a good session. So, Mary, if you get time, take a look at the replay. I thought it was good. And if nothing, well, you're pretty good at most of the things that I talked about. But if nothing else, take a look at my trending topics, and then you can advance up to where I did the review of Danielle's Decor, because I really think she's really got it down to a science as to how she's managing her channel. And as I said, she's being very, very strategic. Excuse me, ladies, I just kind of need to wipe my nose a little bit. Oh, gosh. I'm going to try not to be too indelicate, but sometimes, when you've got the sniffles, it's just nasty. Okay, so we were supposed to look at two videos tonight. One of them was by vidIQ, and it was called Thumbnail Tips and Tricks by vidIQ. And what they did was and let me pull this up on my little computer right here, because if I didn't tell you what I was doing, my little Morgan, oh, I'm telling you, she'd be like, Grandma, you're looking off the camera. Because when we were watching one of the videos the other day, when she was helping me like make comments and things, one of
So how do the biggest YouTubers in the world generate?
One of the ladies in the video was showing things here and then here. And the lady kind of showed something like over there to a different camera. And Morgan was like, Grandma, she's showing it to the other camera. And it was just so funny to listen to her. I mean, she's pretty good, but then again, her dad works in film. And they used to have their own little TV show, so she knows what's what. But it was just so interesting. So, okay, guys. Yes, thank you, Mary. I'm with my family. I'm with my sisters. So you guys won't mind me being too indelicate and being snuffly, because I tell you what, that's where we are tonight. So how many of you guys got the chance to look at the videos that were assigned? And the first one was the 7 expert custom thumbnails, creating tips that get the clicks. And this one was only about 6.5 minutes. And I tell you what, I looked at that video 3 times. So how many of you got the opportunity to look at it? Let's start there. And then one of the things that they talk about in this video, and funny thing, the other video, which was by Latasha James, was done 2 years ago. But when I looked at it and decided to have us take a look at it, I liked the fact that it was such a nice tutorial, and it was done 2 years ago. And one of the things that she said in that video was thumbnails should not be an afterthought. And that's the exact same thing that Rob said in his video. Thumbnails should not be an afterthought. So now tell me, what does that mean to you, that thumbnails should not be an afterthought? So let's start there. What does that mean? Thumbnails should not be an afterthought. And don't everyone speak at once? I know when I heard him say that, it made me really think about how I used to look at thumbnails and how I sometimes look at thumbnails now. But what does it mean to you? And I'd like to hear from you before I tell you what it means to me. So So Diva says it means to think about thumbnails before filming. And Mary said, yes, but it's hard because that means we have to put as much thought into creating the thumbnails as we do the videos. And you know what, Mary, that's absolutely true. Karen says thumbnails are just as important as the actual video. Absolutely. That's the thing that I am realizing, and Ro agrees with Mary. It's just that if we want to get the click, if we really want to get the click, we've got to have a great thumbnail, because one of the things that I'm learning, it doesn't matter how good that video is. If they don't click on it, they don't get to find out. So, excuse me. So thumbnails cannot be the afterthought. So Rose says sometimes she spends more time on the thumbnail than the video editing. And I won't say that I do that, but I have learned to think about the thumbnail before I start shooting the video. Now, that doesn't mean I always take the thumbnails before the video, but I at least think about them, and I will either plan to get the thumbnail at the end of the video. Depending upon the topic, I may plan to capture a thumbnail from the video. Now, if my husband is home and I can set up props and different things like that for a thumbnail, I'll get him to take some pictures of me before I do the video or after I do the video. If he's not here and I'm by myself, then I'll set the camera on video and I'll go ahead and set up those same props or whatever and try to capture video, try to capture thumbnails that way. So tell me what you guys do. Let's start there. Oh gosh, and excuse me for snorting. Hey, Julie Marie, we are talking about thumbnails and how to get the click. And the question that's on the table right now is, what does thumbnails should not be an afterthought mean to you? And then the second question is, how do you go about getting your thumbnails? That's where we are right now. So thumbnails should not be an afterthought. And then how do you go about getting your thumbnails? What's your process right now? And like I was just saying earlier, my process now is that I will either plan ahead and I'll try to get a thumbnail before I do the video, or I will plan to capture a thumbnail from the video by posing certain things when I'm in there. So Rose says she sets it up to make a separate thumbnail, and Mary says she'll get her husband to help her do thumbnails as well. So yes, sometimes we just need to have help. But if you're by yourself, if you're a solopreneur and there's nobody else there but you, then you can set up your camera on video. And I've gotten some pretty good thumbs by using video. Some will say that the image is not as crisp, but it works. So now Karen tries to take a picture specifically for the thumbnail, and I'm trying to do that more and more now. I have to tell you what, since we've started our YouTube strategy discussions on Monday and the discussions that we do on Sunday after I do the shout outs with the new upcoming collabs, my thumbnails have improved 100%. Well, maybe 75%. But have you guys noticed the change? And the change has come about from all of the discussion that we're doing, from the collaborations that we're having where we're talking about these things, because as they say, as Sean says, and Peter Drucker says, what gets measured gets improved. Stephanie, how you doing? You are not late. You are just fine. We are talking about how to get the click with thumbnails. And so there are two questions on the table. One is, what does thumbnails should not be an afterthought mean to you? The other is, what's your process for getting thumbnails for your video? So that's where we are right now. So you can feel free to jump right in. And I was just sharing that now my thumbnails have improved at least 75%, because when I look at the videos that I assign to you guys, because I'll watch them too, and I'll watch them sometimes 2 or 3 times. I have a pen and paper and I take notes when I watch them, and then I try to apply. And I mean, it's no secret that I'm taking Sean Cano's Video Raking Academy. Oh my. Well, you know what? You're in Oklahoma. You guys probably have tornadoes frequently. We have tornadoes quite a bit out here too. We don't have a warning today though, so you stay safe. And if you blink off, we'll know that probably your internet went down. But I'm glad that you're okay. But as I was saying though, as far as thumbnails go, oh, Mary said my thumbnails look great and they stick out on her phone notifications. Yeah, my thumbnails have improved quite a bit. And one of the things that I've been trying to do, first of all, and for those of you that jumped on late, I'm all snuffly, so I'm trying to turn my head away when I have to wipe my nose because one day I forgot and Mickey blasted me. So now Ro wants to know, does anyone use a specific app or software for thumbnails? So now Ro, I haven't seen you for the last couple of weeks. Well, I wasn't on last week, but PiceCart. So PiceCart is one of the ones that that Stephanie says that she likes to use as an app for her thumbnails. And I will tell you that I did find PiceCart, PixArt. And then Kara Gita uses Canva. And I did find some apps for thumbnails. And I would love to use Photoshop. And I can do Photoshop a little bit. But you know, Photoshop is one of those things that if you don't use it consistently, then it doesn't stick with you. Now, Mary likes Adobe Illustrator. And you know, Mary, I've got that on my software, but I haven't tried it yet. But this is what I found online. Let me get this picture up. Now, hopefully it's big enough for you guys to see. That's not, there we go. Now, let's see if this is going to work. It may not. Let me see if I can get it. Okay, it's not working. Let's see, Temple's Journey, the first of my live videos that she's been on. So, hey, Temple's Journey, welcome. Hey, ladies, say hi to Temple's Journey. This is the first live stream she's been on with us, so welcome. And one of the things that we're doing right now, Temple's Journey, is we're talking about how to improve our click-through rates with the use of thumbnails, trying to make our thumbnails better. And so I did find this article online, and it's called The 9 Best Alternatives to Photoshop. And it is on I can't remember the website that I found it on, but what I will do is I will link the article below. But it just says the 9 best alternatives to Photoshop, and it is by Creative Blog staff on a graphic design group. Oh, it's PS63 Modern. That's the blog. PS63 Modern is the blog that this is on. So I'll link it below so that if you guys are interested in taking a look at it, that you can. But they do a good job in showing you all the different software that's out there. And PicMonkey and some of those are some of those. So now Rose says she uses PicMonkey, but she's not as impressed with that. And Stephanie, I just missed whatever you said about that. But you know what? I think any of the free sites, PicMonkey, Canva, PixArt, all of them can do beautiful jobs. You just have to explore enough to get very comfortable with it. See, that's the thing. Oh, and Mary made the point that community colleges offer adult education classes in Adobe Illustrator. And also, if you are taking a class at a community college, like if you're a student, if you have an EDU email address, your college will probably offer some of that software for free. So if your hubby or your son or daughter is in a university or community college, they may be able to help you get access to some of that free software. So that's something to think about. So it sounds like most of you have watched the 2 videos So, Stephanie, there were two videos that I did ask you guys to look at, and they are listed in the description box. And I should really try to see if there's an Adobe Illustrator class here at the university locally, because I can get into the class. And actually, if I would just go into Studio M and just practice with it, I could get some help. But I just seem to have been running out of time. All right, so now let me ask you guys this then. For those of you that have the opportunity to watch the vidIQ video, 7 expert custom thumbnails, creating tips that get the clicks, what was your takeaway from that? What was the most important takeaway? Stephanie, you will love both of them. The vidIQ video was only 6.5 minutes, but it was chock full of information. But it was really quite interesting, and I'll have to tell you why. One of the things that they talked about was using bright colors, and they used, I am using, I use Canva and I use PicMonkey to make my thumbnails. I will pull the video, I'll pull the image into Canva and I'll situate the image the way I want it, and I'll put in the text the way I want it. And then I take it over to PicMonkey and I'll put the frame around it if I need to do anything extra. But I hadn't used PicMonkey for layering for a while there, so I had forgotten how to use some of their tools, but I learned again today. So Karen says that one of the things that she picked up for her takeaway was that he said use 3 words or less. Now I thought, wow, that was pretty interesting. So that was one of the things that I wrote down. Okay, Mom likes to use gray instead of black and light pink instead of white on thumbnails. Mary says bright colors are important. And Diva uses text. I missed it. There was like 3 up there at once, and I could only get 3. Yeah, Ro, you definitely want to watch them. They're very, very good. So he talked about the number of words on there. So now the other thing they talked about was the use of emotion. And Mary says she doesn't want to use shock or big eyes. Well, Mary, that doesn't make sense for you. So let's talk about that. The YouTube expression. Or that kind of thing. It depends upon what you're doing as to whether or not those expressions make sense. Now, one of the things that I got from the video example that they used was I felt like Creative by Nature is with us. And then I felt like I was almost looking at a cartoon or a comic book. You know, the way the images used from Vi and Charles in their videos made me think of comic books and how you see the bright colors in the superhero comic books, that kind of thing. And they said they do that because their audience is largely young people. So my question to you is, how do we tweak that to make it work for us? And the other thing was they talked about expressions, exaggerated expressions. Now, Rose said she's tried it a couple times, but she feels like it's forced. And I get that. But you know what? You have to make it work for you. Hey, Loretta Dot. And if it's forced, let's see, for example, let's say if I was going to do this and I'm like, or, now, whenever I do this, my husband's like, why are you pointing at it? You're holding it in your hand. It's obvious it's there. So he always makes me feel silly when I'm like, trying to point at something, but I'm like, oh, look at this, it's really great. But what if I was like, and there was no text? How would it be then? Like, would it be silly if I didn't have any text on that? So when we did these, have to do the DIYs, and I did these paper flowers. So what if I did just went like, but I didn't have any text on there? Then how would it be? I did see your post from last night, Mary. I will get it. I will look at it. But let me think. How can So let's say we had a cup of coffee and we had an exaggerated expression like, what does that expression say to you? Would you be wondering, gosh, what's she thinking about? Or what's her problem? Or who is she mad at? So Diva said the title should tell the story of your expression. So yeah, you want to kind of get an idea of what the video is about from the thumbnail and then also from the title, but they shouldn't be the same. So let's say if I did this and then my title was how to make paper roses or look what I did or something like that, maybe that could work. And for those of you that jumped on late, I'm battling the sniffles and my throat is dry. Okay, so yes, Stephanie, Kimberly, definitely you want your thumbnails and your title should complement and your title should tell the story, but hopefully the thumbnail will also complement the title. I thought it was interesting that one channel did not repeat the words in the thumbnail that they put in their title, and they had a rule for no more than 3 words per thumbnail. So yes, Stephanie does a good job with her expressions. Now, I think I did a really good job on one of my videos. It was the what I wish I knew when I was doing a laundry chat, and it was like what I wish I knew. So I remember I was like sitting like this, and just kind of looking off into space and with this kind of quirky expression. Oh, Stephanie said she did the Home Alone thing one time where she was like, that kind of thing. I have not found a reason to do that. But when I was doing my microwave, I had this huge mess in my microwave, and I did like or something like that. I was leaning over, looking into the microwave, and I had like, what the, and just like a big F, and then dash, 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 looking in there. And Drea at Clueless Mama D jumped on and said, hey, it was a great thumbnail. And I thought maybe it was a little bit over the top because, I'm not usually out there, but I was just kind of trying to see what would happen. I haven't been so avant-garde since that time, but I don't know. So, okay. So one is, Stephanie was saying that sometimes a facial expression stands out in a crowd of just smiles. That's true. So we do need to alter our facial expressions. And you know who I think does a good job with their videos and their facial expressions is Sean Cannell. He'll have all kind of weird expressions on his face when he's got all these different cameras. And then he'll have like 2 cameras, and then the title might be, what is the best, blah, blah, blah. And he's got 2, that he's holding or something like that. So that's just something to think about. But back to the colors too, the bright colors. The colors were uber bright on that one channel. How can we make the colors brighter but make them suitable for adults? Now, one thing that I did like in the tutorial, she showed us how to brighten it up with that in PicMonkey, which I didn't know how to do. But how can we make the colors a little bit brighter to make them work for us? One of the things that I'm struggling with my new camera as I'm learning how to use it is I'm not getting things as clear or getting the lighting the way that I would like. So sometimes my pictures are dark. So I've been struggling with that, trying to get my images brighter. So I'm glad that I kind of know a little bit as to how to do that. But how can we make the brighter images work for us? Because I can't see myself making images on my thumbnails that look like cartoons or comic books. That's just not who I am. And that's not my audience. So how can we make that work for our audience? So like, how do we take that information and tweak it to work for us? One of the things that I'm noticing now that I'm trying to do a better job at. Okay, so Stephanie said she'll look at similar videos posted by others and see how to stand out. Zested food. Oh, okay. So zested food, I'll have to capture that once we're off tonight. I'll go back and I'll look through. But there's a mom that Mary's Nest said to look at. It's called Zested Food, and she uses turquoise in some way in her thumbnails. So one of the things that he did talk about when we look at colors is to be consistent. And so this one, I guess, Nested Food uses turquoise all the time. I'll see if I can pull her up. Well, I guess I probably should spell it right. That might help. Okay, introducing Zested Foods, how to zest a lemon. There she is. Let's see what comes up when I try to click on her. Well, considering I've got the slowest computer in the West, nothing's coming up very much. So she always uses the same bright turquoise and the wild type facial expressions. Let me go to her. She just started in 2018. She's got,
Are you a busy, tired, overworked mom?
yes. Let's see, how many subscribers does she have? Doesn't say, but you're right. She's got like a consistent turquoise in all of her videos, so I like that. And one of the things that I can see too is she's using like red font. So she's got, oh, and you know something else that I see she does. So one of the things that they talked about in that first video is that how to make the images kind of stand out. And I've looked at that, but I've never tried it. But in both videos, she showed how to do that. So why people don't show how many subscribers they have, sometimes I think they don't do it because they don't feel like they have enough and they want to have more. And I know when I first got started, I didn't show how many subscribers I had. Then I thought, you know what it is what it is. So I just went ahead and let it show because we all want to grow. So I don't know. But judging by the number of views that she's getting on her videos, you know, somewhere around 200 or less, I would guess she's probably got a little less than 2,000, 3,000 subscribers. I don't know. That's just a guess. But she's certainly using some of those techniques. So Stephanie said she tried that. So guys, what I'm doing is I got my, and let me know if this is distracting to you, that I've got my laptop sitting right here. And so I was able to look up at this channel because I thought it would just be easier if I could pull it up and talk about some of the stuff that we're talking about. But the technique that we learned on the vidIQ video, and then also on Latasha James's tutorial, they showed how to get that light, you know, that little, how to cut out the image. And Brian G. Johnson does the same thing. Okay, so I'm glad you said it's not distracting. Excuse me. Ro, I tell you what, watch the tutorial, the second video that were assigned by Latasha James, and it's only like 24 minutes long. She shows how to do that highlight, and she made it more simple than I've ever seen it before, because I've seen other people try to show that and I can never figure it out. But I think I got what she said do, so I'm going to try it on an upcoming video. I'm not sure when, and I'm not sure if it'll really work well on the kind of videos that I do. So see, that's the thing. So if we're going to like cut out images and kind of highlight or feather images, the big thing is, does it make sense for us? So you know, Okie Mom Live, Stephanie, if you're going to make a video to show Ro, you might as well make a video and put it on your YouTube channel and let other people see it. Oh, thanks, Mary. Thank you. So yeah, so So Stephanie, if you're going to make a video about that, make that tutorial so that we can all come and look at it. And granted, that's not something that you're known for, but it could be something you might consider sharing with us. And Diva just said she doesn't know if she likes that highlight. And I'm not sure if I like it either. It depends upon what, at least I'm thinking it may depend upon what my video is about. I don't know. So I think it's worth a try, Kim, just to kind of see. And you'd have to, again, it'd have to be a video that made sense too. And I'm not sure what. When I think about the kind of things that I do, I just have to figure out which one to try it on. And then you can soften the image up. That's one of the things that Latasha James showed us, was how to soften the image up so it's not so bright as it is here. So Stephanie said she thinks it could fit her channel. Well, then Stephanie, go for it. We want to see it. So Temple's Journeys, when you say was my thumbnail taken by a photographer, which thumbnail are you talking about, Temple? Because on my YouTube channel, the little picture in the circle at the top where I've got on the orange sweater, that picture was taken by a photographer. And the one that I'm in my lab coat on my Wellness Wednesdays, that picture was probably taken by a photographer. But most of the other pictures on my YouTube channel are taken by either me or my husband. And as I was sharing earlier, I'll set the camera up and just go from there. Just take them myself. One of the things that I want to do is I want to get another backdrop to get good pictures up, because a lot of times I'll take, hey Temple, we see you. So Loretta says she doesn't care for a lot of neon. I'm going to turn this around a little bit just for a second. So you guys see that door right there? A lot of times I'll take pictures in front of that door, but it's dark, but it's plain. And I don't have a lot of like wall space that's just plain here in the house that I can just like step in front of to take a picture. So lately I've been taking a lot of pictures in front of that door. That's the door to my like laundry pantry. And then I cut them down, and like I cut out everything else and just kind of focus in real tight on it. And I got the idea from Mary's Nest, because Mary does a great job with her thumbnails. And I suggest you guys go over and take a look at her thumbnails. She does a great job. Her background and all that's pretty consistent. They're nice and tight. And she said she uses Adobe Illustrator, but she does a beautiful job with her thumbnails. She really does. And I like the way she'll have like the image over here. Maybe she's holding that jar of, mayonnaise or something like that or whatever. And then over on this side, you'll see the title about what it's about. And one of the other things that I like that she does is if she's introducing a new series, you might see like a little box or some kind of blurb at the top about bone broth or sourdough starter recipes or something like that. So yeah, Kim, I agree. Mary's amazing in what she's doing. Style with Pat is on with us tonight. So hey, Pat, it's always good to see you. One of our really creative people that's jumped on. So yeah, her banner is awesome. So Temple, you've already gone and checked her out. So that's the other thing, Temple. This is a group of ladies that are really very supportive of each other. Well, you know what? As far as the too many words, I'm going to let you think about that, because as we're learning, less is more. So I'll let you decide how to approach that, because that's a lesson that I'm learning as well. So yeah. Yeah, and we've all got room for growth. Excuse me for another snort. Sorry about that, guys. So yeah, so Pat, we're talking about thumbnails and how to improve our thumbnails, how to use them, what applications we use, that kind of thing. And right now we're looking at how to use bright colors to improve our thumbnails, but how to make it make sense for us. And so that's the thing, because like I said, I can't see myself using neon colors. That's just not me. but I can see where it makes sense for someone. Oh, and speaking of neon colors, let me just show you if this'll work. When I was looking at, can you guys see that? That's a thumbnail that I took a picture of, and it's by Brian G. Johnson. Now, I have never seen Brian G. Johnson use colors like that. So this one is before, and this one is after. And look at the number of, it's almost like it's two pictures. There's about 8 words. So this one says before, one sub, I think before one sub a day. So that's one side of it. Before was 1 sub a day. And then the after, 100 subs a day. But that's the thumbnail. Now, have you guys ever seen a thumbnail like that with Brian before? But look how he used the black, like 2 little black boxes, the green font, the white font. I thought that was kind of interesting. And then this was the thumbnail that I was telling you guys about. Yeah, those were great colors to attract attention, but I don't know, it was pretty bright. But it worked because I stopped to look at it. Now, this was one of the thumbnails from Danielle's Decor that I told you about yesterday. And like you can see right here, she did a vegetable pot, and it says in the title, it says vegetable pot arrangement is what she wrote on the thumb. And then she's got her logo right there, Danielle's Decor. And then the word vegetable is on the pot. She's got one of those little pots that she bought at Hobby Lobby, because I've got one that says potatoes and one that says onions. But I thought she did a pretty good job with it. So there were just the 3 words that she put on there. And I guess the Danielle's Decor is part of the logo that she has on there every time. And then here was one by vidIQ where they use different colors. Now, the color's not showing up very well on here. One side, this side is orange. The other side is blue. But look how many words they have. There's like 3 words on each side. Again, with the side-by-side thing that Brian G. Johnson did. But it caught my attention because this side says random videos, 54 views. And then this one says focused videos, 10,000 views. So it caught my attention, 6 words. So it's almost like they put 2 thumbnails side by side. Oh, Mary. Sandra, good to see you, a beautiful Nest TV. Glad to have you here. I started working out in my pots finally yesterday. And this could be why I'm all snuffly from all that soil that I'm using, because sometimes I do get that way when I worked out there. But what are we talking about, Sandra? We're talking about how to get the clicks with thumbnails. So we're talking about the best way to improve our thumbnails. And we're talking about how to use color to do that, or if you use those cutout images. So, and I have to agree with you, Kim. I'm not sure if that light around the image is going to work for me, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to experiment with it. And you know what you can do? Particularly those of you that have 1,000 subscribers and you have a community tab on your YouTube channel, what you can do is create a thumbnail, like create a photo where you've got the 3 thumbnails on one picture, because when you upload that to your community tab, you're only going to be able to put 1 picture in there. So, but you could create a thumbnail where you've got the 3 pictures and then ask your community to vote on them, A, B, C, or D, because I did that once and I was surprised at the results, but it does work. So you could consider doing that. But one of the things they did talk about was testing the thumbnails and seeing how well they work out. I've only done that like twice. So how many subscribers do you have, Steph? Where are you? And I don't want to like change what I've got on my computer right now, but how many subscribers do you have? You said you're about halfway there. So do you have like 500? I was thinking you were almost at 1,000. Oh, 490-ish. Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, you're on your way. I tell you what, once you get to 500, it's amazing. It's like you get to 500 and then you're at 750 and then you're at 1,000. And it's like, that's that one big milestone. When you get to 1,000, it just kind of unlocks some other things on YouTube, some other features that I think are very nice. Okay, so what's the rule 101 rule? The number one rule in creating thumbnails. Who remembers that? Steph's gearing up for her first giveaway. Make sure that you check out the videos that we had assigned a few months back about how to do a giveaway the right way, because you don't want to get into trouble. And then Mary's giving information about how she does her thumbnails. So I'm going to let you guys just take a peek at that. But again, what's rule 101 on how to create your thumbnails? It's never repeat text in the thumbnail that's in the title. So never repeat text in the thumbnail that's in the title. So I've been working at that, and also that less is more. So I've been trying to do fewer words in my thumbnails. So I'm coming along, as I think we all are. And you know what? Mary shared with me a couple of months ago that I believe it was Sonny Lenarducci that said you should not have more than 4 words in a title. So Mary, what do you mean you find that hard? Oh, because you tend to have more words in your thumbnail. Well, yeah, but you know, you like Sonny Lenarducci, and she said the same thing though, but she said no more than 4 words. And she's a great one for facial expressions. She has a lot of different facial expressions on her thumbs. So, okay, Diva, so since you say thumbnails are something you really want to improve on, let's think about ways that you can do that. So where do you want to start? Do you want to work at improving the brightness of your thumbnails? Do you want to work on using less words? Do you want to work on having more facial expressions? Let me pull you up. Let me pull you up. Let's take a look at your thumbs. I never got the impression that your thumbnails were bad, because I like what you do. So let's just see. You say your page is a mess. Well, I think we could all say that. Okay. Let's see. I think I'm going to try to go to where it just got your videos. Okay, so now when I take a look at Diva Design is on a Dime, guys, if you guys have a separate tool that you can look at. So now Pat says making them more colorful is a good way to improve. And Mary says how to make fishbone broth in her thumbnail. Okay, and Temple says earth tones can be bright. So if you guys have a second device, like if you've got your phone or your tablet or whatever, let's go over to Diva Designing on a Dime and take a peek at her channel and just kind of take a peek at her thumbnails. She wants to improve on those. And one of the things that I see right away is she's got a lot of different thumbnails, and they just kind of depends upon what it is that she's doing that week. So the ones I like best, Kim, are the ones where I can see your face. I like those. When I see your beautiful face, I like those best. And then you've got some of those where you barn doors. You've got some new barn doors installed. And oh, that looks kind of nice. So we can see that. And then your Squeeze the Day lemon coffee bar. Oh, those are cute. So you've been testing. Okay. Now, the one thing I might mention on the Squeeze the Day lemon coffee bar, that one you've got like 3 different images in it. So it makes each of the images a little bit smaller. So my suggestion, and again, I'm learning this just like you guys are, might be to have one of those images there and just have it a little bit larger. Okay, so you've been testing those, so cool. You know, you might consider, oh, Karen's got to go. Okay, Karen, so it's good to see you. You might consider doing some testing though on your community tab. Do you do anything with your community tab? Let me look to see. Okay, you post there, give us different little notes, things like that, things about the holidays, but it doesn't look like you post real often. So this could be a good place for you to test out your thumbnails. You know, like maybe put 2 or 3 up, like put them in one image and then see what your people think. That's one of the things that I'm learning. I was asking a question on one of the groups that I'm in. And so one of the leaders said, well, did you ask your community what they think? And I'm like, well, no. She said, we don't post any videos on anything that we haven't asked our community about. So that's one thing you could consider, Kim, is like post a picture, like create a collage, you know, like make that picture 2 images or 3 images that you're testing. And when you put that post up, people that are subscribed to you, it'll kind of appear on their feed and they could click on it and answer it and ask them which one would they click on first, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah, you don't get that option until you have 1,000 subscribers. But once you do, I highly recommend that you take advantage of it. But so yeah, Kim, you know, you've got lots of different things. So you certainly have something to work with. And oh, and look at you with your hat. The day that you did the hat, that's absolutely gorgeous. So most my most loved ones, when I'm looking at your channel, is the ones where I see your beautiful face. That's the ones that I kind of key in on most because you really kind of blow it up enough so that we can get a good look at you. And yes, you could post them on the Sister Circle and get some feedback from there too. And you know what, Stephanie? I'm doing the same thing. She said she's struggling with making her thumbnails look uniform. And I have to agree with that too. One of the things that I've been trying to do is that I always put a black box around, like a black frame around all my thumbnails. So I'll have like a little white inner border that's like a size 10, and then a outer border that's black that's like a size 40. So I try to do that to be consistent. And the other thing is that I try to use the same color font. I use black, I use white, I use red when I'm using the colors in my thumbnail. And again, I've just tried switching to this to like the last 6 months. And then one of the things that I learned from Roberto's, because I bought his thumbnail kit, but I haven't figured out how to use it very well. But one of the things that he does is he will stack like little boxes or bars, like red and then black, and he will put his text in that. So like he will put a red frame behind the words or something like that. So I've been trying to do that to be consistent. So I will most often have a red or a black bar with white letters, or a black bar with white letters. But Roberto said, don't put red letters on black. He said, don't do that because it does something to the eye. I'm not sure what, but I just try not to do it because he said, don't do it. But I'm trying to be consistent with that. So I don't know. It's something that we're all working toward. Okay, so what other notes did I have? Well, we already talked about how you outline the images, and I'm going to try it. Stephanie's trying it now. I don't know what I'm going to try it on, though. I'm going to try to figure it out. I have to figure out when and how it'll make sense for me. Don't know that yet. We also talked about the use of emotion, the hyper emotion, like the, all that kind of stuff. So we'll have to think about that. And Rose said it feels forced, but again, how can you do it that it works for you? And one of the things that I notice now is that sometimes when I'm taking a picture, my eyes are kind of like squinty. So when I do a hyper expression or an exaggerated expression, they open more. So sometimes I might try it for that purpose. Sorry, guys. So there's that. So I will link that one blog title below. So now Rose said she has 3 templates that she uses all the time with the same font and colors. It's kind of monotonous, but it works for her. So Rose, I'm going to try to find you, and we'll see what you're talking about. Hey, I kind of like having my laptop here, because then I can just like go there and look at it and see what's going on. Okay. Okay, I can see your colors. I like how you're using that orange. You know what though, Mary? If you pull your picture into PicMonkey, like let's say your picture is 1980 by 1020, which is the size you're supposed to make them. I suppose everyone already knows that, but when you create your thumbnails, either created by 1920 by 1080 or I think sometimes I'll do mine 1080 by 720, I don't know, but 1920 by 1080 is a good standard, and then you can pull it into wherever you need to. But when you set up your size on PicMonkey, let's say when you pull it in there, when you upload the picture into PicMonkey and you frame it, you don't have to reduce the size of the picture. PicMonkey just does it for you. It just puts the frame around the picture as it is, and it just kind of shrinks the picture down a little bit. So try that. Once you've got your picture created already, you've done whatever you want to do to it, pull it into PicMonkey and then select the option to put the frame around it, and it just pops it in there. And I like the simple the simple frame. So it puts just a little small white line around it and then a black line. You can change the colors to whatever you like, but it puts the picture right inside there. And I kind of like that. And it's kind of continuous. At one point, if you look at some of my videos from about a year and a half ago, I had tried using where I put a bar down the side of the video, like kind of a turquoise bar, because if you look at my colors, I've got like turquoise and orange and black and red and white, that kind of thing. But I find now I'm being more consistently pulling out the black and the red, and I'm kind of not doing much with the turquoise at all. But when I look at Rose videos, she does have kind of a earth tone color scheme. And I can see she participated in the Big Hat Challenge. And Ro, I love that thumbnail. You've got that huge kind of a yellow hat in the back with looks like a little yellow fascinator in front of that. And then you've got your Big Hat Challenge in words. And you've just got the 3 words. And you made the box behind the words just a little bit transparent, which is good. So, but you've got 3 fascinators there. So yeah, I've been doing a lot more with the black and red, Mary. So thank you. I think that was Mary, either Mary or Pat. I'm not sure which one. Brush on Nail Kit Review by Kiss. That's a good one. And you outlined those nails, it looks like. You outlined the hands. I can see where you kind of cut out the hands a little bit. That's kind of cool. See, I'm still have to figure out how to do that. Easter Monday cleaning. Messy kitchen cleaning. So you're using words as part of your images to kind of let people know what it's about. But in behind, you've got messy kitchen cleaning. You've got like 3 or 4 different images that are small. So that's something to think about. A picture of the box. Well, oh, okay. Oh, I see. So that's the way the picture came. Okay, but it works. It's working for you. It's working for you. I like how on a couple of your thumbs, you've got like a big circle and linen closet organization, and then another one, power hour fail. And you do that quadrant thing where you've got the pictures into 4 quadrants and then you've got the image on top of that. So I think I like the circle image a little bit better because it at least makes it a little bit more uniform. Whereas the when you put the messy kitchen cleaning in a bar, then all the it was just busy. It's just busy for me. So that's just my thought. So hey, Trisha. Trisha just joined us. So yeah. One thing I do like though is on this one where you did the 310 shake review where you've got that bright orange in there and you also pick up that bright orange in the Aldi sign in your 2-week Aldi grocery haul. So yeah, so now one of the challenges that I've given to you guys and I'm accepting myself is to try to level up what we do by 1%. Like in each video, try to improve it by 1%. So, Ro, I'm going to challenge you to try to make those videos, those thumbnails a little less busy. If you take a look at the one you did for the Big Hat Challenge, I love it. It's very clear. It's not busy at all. Your Landro chat, I can see you sitting there with your basket of laundry. That's nice and clear. And I love the FabFitFun unboxing. That's a great one. And then the one where I'm going live, I have no idea what I'm doing. I saw that one when you did it too, but I can see your beautiful face right there. So, Pat, do you have any suggestions for Ro on It's a Chore thing? I love your sense of color, so you might have some suggestions for that. Kimberly, you got any thoughts? And then your Aldi and ShopRite grocery haul. Your words stand out, but your groceries are dark. You know what, Trisha? It's okay. We all have our own lives and things to do, so we jump on when we can. And then what you don't get to see, you can always catch on the replay. So, okay. So there's that. So I thought that 6.5-minute video by vidIQ was chock full of information and I loved it. And like I said, I looked at it 3 times and I picked up something new each time. So I think we've hit all the notes from that video. So what I want you guys to think about is what makes sense for you. And I'm going to ask you, what is your takeaway from that video? What's your takeaway and how can you use it? And then, Ro, you haven't seen the video yet, so you definitely need to take a look at it. The other video was how to make thumbnails for YouTube by Latasha James. And I'm telling you what, I loved it because she did a tutorial where she walked through how to use Canva and how to use, not Canva, but how to use PicMonkey to do a video. Yeah, yours are nice and colorful. So I like the way she walked through it because she showed you what each the feature was, how to pull it in, and then how to use it. So I just thought it was really pretty nice. Let me find her. Well, I don't think I can find it on here this quick. But one of the things that she showed me was how to brighten up a picture by using one of the little features down the side. And I never pretty much, looked at that very well before. So I was glad to see that. Yeah, she really did a good job with that tutorial. Yeah, here she is right there. How to make thumbnails. And she also showed how to use TubeBuddy for a tutorial. And I didn't realize there was an option on,
Hey, how's it going? If you're looking to grow a
sorry about that. I didn't realize there was an option on TubeBuddy on how to make thumbnails, but then I don't have the paid version of that. And you have to have the paid version of it to do it. But I was really impressed with the way she showed how to use PicMonkey. And she showed how to use the layering, and I knew how to use the transparencies to pull in other images, but I just hadn't done it for a while. So if you have not seen that video, if you watch it, just watch it all the way through one time and just take it in. And then watch it a second time and really try to figure out how she's doing this and that. I was like, wow, I didn't know it was so easy. She showed how to get the background out. And if you wanted to end up with one of those little lights around your image, she showed how to do that. She showed how to make it lighter, make it a little bit feathered, that kind of thing. And then she also showed how to make it transparent and how to put that on top of a transparent background. So I just really thought she did a great job. So do look at that video because it's one of the best tutorials that I've seen in a while. So Trisha said she created her stroke anniversary thumbnail off of that video. Okay, well, great. Sorry about that. Whew. I think once we're done, I'll be making a trip to Walgreens. I need to pick up some more of that antihistamine. So thank you. I need all the blessings I can get. But for those of you that saw that video, what did you think about how she showed how to do the layering? I was pretty impressed. I was pretty impressed. Okay, so Stephanie, stay safe. Make sure you're like at an inside window, that kind of thing. So you guys that are in Oklahoma, I know you've got tornado warnings out, so please get cover and stay safe. We'll be saying some prayers for you out there. Whenever I think about Oklahoma and Kansas, I think about the Wizard of Oz and how Dorothy's house went spinning around, that kind of thing. So please stay safe. All right, well, did you guys have any other thoughts about thumbnails? I think we pretty much covered it all. Yes, Pat, I'm having a cold. Not that I want it, but it's decided to attach itself to me. And I'm like, I woke up like this. I didn't go to bed like this, but I woke up like this. And I'm like, well, where did this come from? I have no idea. Pat, we've got a new lady who joined us tonight. It's called Temple's Journey. So she's just joining. This is her. Excuse me. This is her first live stream with us. And the good thing about this code is that I'm on virtually, so I can't spread my germs. Yesterday I was outside, and I'm wondering if this is where I got it from. I went to a tea yesterday after church, came home, and the little neighborhood kids came running down the street as soon as they saw me getting out of the car. And two of the children speak Burmese and not very much English. So I couldn't really understand what Nora was saying. But she was like, his foot, his foot, his foot. The older boy could speak English and said he hurt his foot. He won't wear his shoes. I looked down and the toe, the great toe, was bleeding. So I thought, well, what, you want a Band-Aid? They're like, yes, put a Band-Aid on it. So I thought, okay, I'll take him in. I'll bring him in the house. Well, I was going to put him on the porch because there was 4 of them. And I really didn't want to bring them in the house because there was 4 of them. And, you know, they'd been out running around, whatever. And I knew their mom was down the street. So I thought, well, I probably shouldn't bring him in the house. So I'll come in and get some stuff to clean up his toe. So I came in, got a cloth, that kind of thing. And I go out. And I start wiping the toe off, and it was like the whole tip, like here, just kind of a little bit of a skin flap peeled back. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this boy really scraped it up. So I thought, I'm going to have to take him in and wash the toe off. So I brought all the kids in, took him in the bathroom, set him up on the sink, and then just like ran cold water over the toe to like rinse all the blood and dirt off. Well, he had been on one of those scooters. You know those scooters, they're like about this long, and they've got wheels on them, and they've got like a little handle, and you ride it by pushing one foot on the ground. So you're standing on it, and then this foot is like trailing on the ground, and you're pushing off. He was using one of those with no shoes on. So he scraped his toe up that way. So I cleaned it up, put some antiseptic spray on it, and then I put 2 Band-Aids on it to, to protect it. And then carried him back home and gave him to his mom and told her what I had done. And she thanked me, that kind of thing. And his nose was running. It was just like a little nasty nose. I thought, let me give you a tissue. So I gave him a tissue and wiped his nose and had him blow. No, this is one of the other little boys whose nose was running. So I had to blow his nose. So I'm wondering if I got this from the kids, because I'm not around children a lot anymore, and children are just little germ factories. If you work in a school, you know that because you're always catching something from the kids, but I don't see kids that much anymore. My sister will bring her grandchildren over probably on the weekends, that kind of thing. So yeah, kids and their cookies, that's about it. It's like they're little germ factories. So I probably got something from the kids, but such is life. So I was over at my mom's earlier today to help her with her bath, and she was like, you're sick. I'm like, I'm not sick, I'm just snuffly. So I'm really hoping that that's all it was, because I would hate that I've been over there to see her and then she catches something from me. Okay, no problem. I think we've covered all of our topics, though, unless you guys have something else to say about thumbnails. So do we need to address anything else? I don't want to keep you guys on just to chat, but I will tell you, though, I was on with Bella at Bella D Designs today for a little bit, and she was so funny, and she was just doing a coffee chat. They were just sitting there drinking coffee, and she was just chatting. She was on a few minutes before it was time for me to come on, so I was only able to stay on with her for about 5 minutes, but she's so funny. Just so funny. So hopefully you guys got some good out of this session today. And let me know what you guys want to talk about next time. This thumbnail I thought was a pretty great discussion because it was certainly helpful for me. So what's your takeaway from all this thumbnail talk? What's your takeaway? What is it that you're going to try to improve on? So Diva said she's going to try to improve her thumbnails, but like where are you guys going to show that work? I'm going to try to put less words on the thumbnail, not repeat the words in the thumbnail that's in the title, and make mine brighter, because I've been told a couple times I need to make them brighter. So I've been trying to get them brighter. And I'm going to try to figure out how to use the tutorial the way Latasha James showed us how to do it, because it was really very nice. She just walks you right through it. So definitely take a look at it. So Trisha's going to try and use less words. And then Trisha, let me pull you up, because I know you said you put your new video up with your stroke anniversary. The life I'm trying to love. There you are. And guys, let me just tell you guys too lately that I've been missing some of the challenges. I tried, when I search for them, sometimes I'm just not finding some of them. And then I'll catch them later. Okay, so I didn't find you, Trisha. Is it all one word? The life I'm trying to love. It's one word. Okay, the life. Let's see if that brings it up. There you are, right there. And there you are, stroke recovery. Okay. You know, Pat, you're going to lunch? Oh, I guess you are in the UK though, so you guys are about 8 hours away. Yeah, it's time for dinner here. What time is it? It's 8:15, so it's time for dinner here. Or actually, past time for dinner. Trisha, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't like this thumbnail, and I'll tell you why. I see that date at the top, that May 18th, 2018, and it makes me think it's a death date. So I I don't like that. It could just be me, but usually when I see dates above somebody like that, I'm thinking, oh, did they pass and I missed it? So I'm thinking that makes me think of it as a death date. Now, you can put that information in your description or in the video. I don't know if I would, well, that's just my opinion. But it's kind of unnerving for me to see it there because I'm like, well, did she pass? But the day my life changed forever, I like that. The day my life changed forever. And I like that little image. I mean, you can tell it has something to do with the brain. But now you other guys are out there, take a look at Trisha's channel, The Life I'm Trying to Love, and let's give her our opinion on that thumbnail. Cause like I said, Diva's gotta go too. Yeah, I understand. Gotta go feed the family. If anybody can take a peek at Trisha's channel real quick, The Life I'm Trying to Love, one word, no spaces in between, and take a look at her thumbnail on her stroke recovery.
Call from Indiana, Mexican.
Asked for the feedback in the group, but got no responses. Okay,
Call
well,
from Indiana, Mexican.
sorry.
Call
Robocall.
from Indiana, Mexican.
Okay, well, that's my feedback now. It's making me think of like an obituary. So I would take the date off. I like the picture of you though. Yeah, I like the picture of you. Who else is on here? We've got 10 people that are still on. So guys, jump on over to Trisha's channel. Let's give her some help with this thumbnail. And then we're going to have to wrap it up because I'm getting all snuffly. I need to get to Walgreens. But yeah, I don't know, Trisha. I would do something different with that. And you know, what if you, yeah, I think you should take that date off. Hey, Creative by Nature, if you could help us out here, we're looking at a thumbnail that Trisha put on her channel. And Trisha, type your channel name in there so that Creative can see it because it's kind of tricky to find because of the way it's spelled. But I like the picture. I like seeing your beautiful face. And I'm thinking you could do something different with the words. And maybe just put life changing or the day my life changed forever. And I like the words, the day my life changed forever. And that's all one word, Creative. So if you could check that, and then we're just trying to give her some suggestions on how she can make her thumbnail a little bit stronger. Healing my brain with keto. I'm looking at your physical therapy evaluation as well. And I like the picture of you there. And then you've got that little card there, ride with me to physical therapy. On that one, maybe you might just put ride with me because the title says physical therapy, first physical therapy evaluation or something like that. Or come with me, physical therapy. Or first visit to physical therapy. Or I don't know, physical therapy day one evaluation. And then you could put the ride with me or come with me in the thumbnail. So on this particular one, do you just chat in the car ride on the way over there? Yes, we're looking at the one with the date on it. That's the one we're looking at. Give us your thoughts on that one. What are your thoughts on that one? Because she's hoping to improve the strength of that one. I like the image of her face. I like being able to see her beautiful face there. And it's framed nicely by her hair. So I like that. But what are your thoughts about the date there and the image itself? And anyone else that's out there, you're welcome to jump in on this discussion. So yeah, so you see, Tricia, she agrees with removing the date because it takes away from your personal image. And what I was saying is it just makes me think of an obituary when I see that date up there like that. I was like, oh. So I would take that off. And then, the day my life changed forever. I kind of like that. Yeah, so see, she agrees. It's kind of like an obituary. So yeah, so I would take that off. So yeah, you're getting you've got quite a bit going on here where you're really starting to share your stroke recovery process. So I like that. I'll spend some time on another day kind of going through your channel, looking more at your thumbs and giving you other suggestions. But the ones where you've got starting physical therapy and then you've got getting started with physical therapy, all I see is a color card, but I don't see you. So I would try putting you in most of those thumbnails because people's eyes are attracted to another face. So maybe getting started with OTPT might show you actually in OT or PT doing something. Oh, excuse me. Like this one, I'm in the ER. I can see like a little wheelchair and something else there. So I know there's like a hospital seat or something like that going on. Current update in rehab. And so again, I can see it's like a little hospital room. I'd like to see a little bit more there, but, and then from ER to rehab, I can see you there with your walker and in your hospital gown. So I like that one. Recovering from the flu. Sounds like I need some of that. So yeah, I like this one from ER to rehab. I like that one, Tricia, because I can see what's going on there. Now maybe I might, if I was doing that one, I might have put the words down a little bit, put the words up a little bit higher so that I can see more of like your feet with the walker, that kind of thing. Okay, I think I'm going to have to go. I'm starting to get really, really snuffly now. I can barely talk. But thank you guys for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. Okay. All right. I look forward to you leveling up, to you increasing things by 1%. To each video, if we try to improve each video by 1%, that's great. Because if we do it by 1%, by the time we've done 10 videos, we're up 10% and more. So, oh, I'm sure I'll feel better. I just got to get some more drugs. I took that one pill about 2 hours ago and it's starting to wear off. So I just have to wait until I can take another dose is all. So I will chat with you guys again soon. Thank you so much for joining me, though. I do appreciate it. And if you're here on the replay, thanks for jumping in too. We had a good discussion tonight. So I will chat with you guys later. Bye. I will do exactly that.